HackBCN's a place we'll code and write. We're fine-tuning in our minds and GPT. In our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks pausing the futures in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road. Every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every day a sec, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's in sight. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. Seeing where the nights come alive. HackBCN's a place we'll code and write. We're fine-tuning in our minds and GPT. In our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks pausing the futures in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road. Every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every day a sec, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's in sight. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. Seeing where the nights come alive. HackBCN's a place we'll code and write. We're fine-tuning in our minds and GPT. In our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want.
Of the demo, and what people have built during those 30 hours. If you were a hacker with us today, raise your hand. I want to see you. Woohoo! Good job. Yes. In terms of instructions on how this is going to work, I posted the list of the projects on Discord. I think we have 18 projects. And we're going to just go through the order via the list. All right. So you're going to see who is before you, who's next to you. And so when you see the team that's presenting before you, try to get ready on that side. I also share a StreamYard link. And so we're going to plug your laptop here to present in the room. And then we're going to use StreamYard to stream your screen to YouTube. And then we can set up all this while we wait for the previous team to finish. Okay? So it's just the logistic about this. Sounds good? Let's check if we get ready to go. Live. Trying to play some music. All right, that's good. Cool. All right, let's kickstart this whole thing. Once again, congrats to you all. You've made it. This is the end of your hackathon. I think you can deserve another round of applause. I'm very impressed to see you all here, because if I tell you the story of how this has started, I just moved from San Francisco 6 months ago. My life is about hackathons. I got jobs thanks to hackathons. I hacked on a train. I hacked on a bus. I haven't hacked on a plane yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen soon. And so in San Francisco, this is happening every single weekend. Every single weekend, people get together to build new shit and try to do new shit. And this is cool. When I moved here in Barcelona, I found a tech scene that has evolved a lot in the last few years. Everything got like consolidated. You have more meetups. Not only meetups about tech product, not only meetups about startups and entrepreneurship, but also like product and so marketing. So like this is the sign of a lively ecosystem, right? I don't know if you agree with this, but I think it's pretty lively here, right? And so this whole idea started of like, we need to have a hackathon here. We need to put Barcelona on the map. And so I think all of you that were here this weekend really made a history. You're part of this history of putting Barcelona on the map of AI. Right now in Europe, it's mostly Paris. I'm French, but I hate Paris. Or I don't like it. It's not that I hate it, but Barcelona is cooler. And so we can show that we have the talent here, we have the knowledge, we have the companies. And so let's show that. Just a few numbers. So we said 30 hours. This has started. That has started yesterday. There were 62 of you in the room. What I didn't put here, there were 350 people that have applied to be part of this. So you're really the creme de la creme, I will say. No, there are a lot of people. There's a lot of demand. That means like we're obliged to this community that we have to showcase cool stuff. And also we're obliged to see how we can do better next time and try to be more inclusive and get more people into this. We're going to see 18 projects, 18 teams. Some didn't know each other before. You guys met here and you built something together. So this is quite awesome. We had an amazing workshop by Javier. Here, so somewhere, who did an awesome workshop about advanced prompting. You were all in the room. You asked awesome questions. So this is great. And thanks to great mentors like this. As a reminder, by being here, by signing up, you are agreeing to the code of conduct. And the code of conduct means be respectful of each other, no harassment or abuse will be tolerated. And if you have anything to report, please report to people from the organization, people that are wearing these shiny shirts, and we'll handle this. Please, we can only put Barcelona on the map if you tell the world that you're here, right? So follow us on Twitter, follow us on LinkedIn, and if it's too hard for you, if you scan this, it's going to tweet for you, okay? We had Instagram accounts, but we got banned for some reason, because apparently I tried to log in too many times in a really short amount of time. We'll get back to Instagram soon. All right, so please let the word, tweet about what you see, tweet about the project that you see, cheer each other. This is cool. The challenge to organize this was to raise sponsorship in 2 months. with no track record of just like, hey, I'm Nico, I'm nice. And so I really want to give a big shout out to those sponsors that trusted us on this first event, starting by Algolia. If you don't know Algolia, it's a company that started in San Francisco, Paris, San Francisco. They're a YC company. They help you doing search for all your e-commerce or any other search you need on your website. So searching a database of movies or of products, all these type of things. They're cool. Check them out. Replexica, based in Barcelona, started out of a hackathon. Max was here the whole weekend. Woohoo! Thanks to you. We have Hookdeck, which is a developer tool. Actually, Replexica, I should say what you guys do. You're doing translations and helping people translate website. This is how we translated the HackBCN website in English. We had it, then in Spanish, then in Catalan, and then in French. All this through AI. So pretty cool. Also, thanks to Hookdeck, represented here by Andre, who was here also the whole weekend. So they are an event gateway. You can route all your webhook calls to different tools. And this is pretty cool if you're managing webhook. I saw some projects using it. Thanks to LevelAccess. This is them hosting us. And this is one of the first partner I had on this event where I was just like, hey, we're organizing a hackathon. Can we use your space? And they're like, yes. So thanks to LevelAccess. Camila is here. Kudos to them. If you don't know LevelAccess, they're a bootcamp about full stack data science, online and in person. They have campuses all over the world, but they have one in Barcelona. So come do it here. Also, thanks to eDreams, they got you the pizzas yesterday. I think I saw Manel that was here earlier, and Dimitri. They were here helping you all night with your questions. They are doing stuff in the travel world, and they have an office here. So if you want to talk about jobs, talk to the folks from eDreams. And thanks again for the pizza yesterday. Woohoo! In OIT, you may have seen Jerome yesterday. It's a consulting company that have about 200 people between Barcelona and Madrid. They're working for all the big brands in Spain, SEAT, Telefónica. They have a lot of projects around this, and they're on the verge of testing stuff with AI. So cool to have them support us. And they have meetups. They organize regular meetups in both cities. So check them out as well on the meetup stuff. Then we have some technical sponsors that help us with credits. Hugging Face and Mistral, pretty obvious what they do, right? They do AI stuff. They give us access to models. They give us access to credits. And Resent is the tool that I used to send all the emails. And I tried to automate this. It's an API to send emails. And this is why they look cool. It's not because I'm a cool designer. It's because they have a great tool. So thanks to them. All right. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to all the mentors we had over the weekend. You recognize some faces. We had Eric, we had David, we had Javier that did the workshop, Manuel, we had Dimitri and Joanne, and we also had Mattia and Kristen that showed up during yesterday to organize the matchmaking between the teams. So if you met your team members, it's thanks to them yesterday. So kudos to everybody. Thank you. Cool. And so now this is the time for the final demos. What are we going to say? The theme was pretty broad, right? I told you build something cool, and I think we're going to see some cool stuff. Depends if you use it for AI for good, for like the citizens around you, the city, your neighbors. If you're trying to build this for business, trying to improve productivity, or try to make something fun for everyday life. I think you're all fit in those categories. Build something cool. I wanted to introduce you to our panel of judges. I probably should give them a mic. Let's start with you, Linus, if you want to present yourself.
Hello. Should I stand up or sit down?
Please stand up.
People
will see you.
Jesus Christ.
If you can.
All right. This is more nervous than actually tweeting. So, hi, my name is Linus. I tweet a lot about AI. I'm a designer, so I'll be judging based on designs. No, just kidding. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, please do. I'll try to respond to all your DMs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. So I'm Anna. Nice to meet you. I'm a machine learning product manager in Adevinta and former data scientist. Super exciting to be here and looking forward to seeing all the cool demos ahead. And yeah, kudos to also Nick and the rest of the team for organizing this great initiative in Barcelona.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tanya. I run an AI startup that is completely bootstrapped. We do AI photography. So I'm super excited to see what you guys are going to build. I think little projects like this is always start small and then, you never know where it's going to go. So let's go.
Hey everybody, my name is Pavel. I was denied a chance to hack in the hackathon, so I said, let me be a judge instead. Thank you.
You can keep it this way. All right, so thanks to all of them for being here. Again, that's a lot of trust on being on the first event, and all of you represent a different part of the life cycle of the company. We got the design, we got the engineering, we got the marketing, the founders, the machine learning, the data. So we're gonna have a variety of things. Again, reminder of the criteria. We're talking about impact. What can the project become after this? What could be the success on growth and impact? Tech implementation, the nerdy part, what did you implemented? Creativity, how crazy this is, how new this is. This is not just a hello world, chat to your PDF, these type of things. And then how well you deliver your pitch. I heard some rehearsals, they were great. As a reminder, what you get for winning the grand prize, you get this awesome cup. This is really one of a kind, handmade. At least the label part is handmade. You also get some gift cards. You'll tell me what you want with this. You also get a shortcut with the AI accelerator by the Generalitat. And so if you want to make a real project of your thing, this is pretty cool. And then some credits to continue using Mistral and Hugging Face. All right, I think the first team to present is going to be Ducktors. Yes. And then next, so we can have the next team next to us, Candit, if the Candit team can come on the side and we get ready. And all right, let's the hackers blow our mind. Oh, one thing I forgot. Each team has 4 minutes. And let me introduce you Nuria, who's going to make sure we respect the time. Thank you. All right. So if you're wondering what Nuria is going to do, I think it's going to be pretty obvious at the end of 4 minutes. Mute yourself. Oh, this is me. All right, cool. So at the end of 4 minutes, you're going to hear some beautiful melody of a bombardina, if I say that correctly. This is inspired exactly by what people do in San Francisco. And SourceGraph, if you don't use SourceGraph, it's a tool for your code analysis. They wanted to be part of this, but the only condition was Nuria playing. So it's pretty cool. All right, stage is yours.
Thank you very much. My name is Arnau. Here is Rick, and we have two teammates that are joining us from home, Gabriel and Nick. And this was our first hackathon about artificial intelligence, so we had little knowledge about this, and we tried to do something fun and learn some new things. And what we came about, the idea was based on a picture, an artificial intelligence that just chooses what will be your future career path. And that was the premise, and that is all. So let's get started. So first of all, if we want to judge based on a picture, we have to upload this file, of course. So I'm going to upload the file of Gabriel, one of the teammates, and just ask for a formal proposition with the basic prompt that we have developed. And then we are just going to wait for the artificial intelligence, and let's see the result. Okay. Then the people provided appears to be a young man with curly hair, and it says that he would be a software developer. So it's maybe not wrong. University professor, marketing, human resources, and graphic designer. So that's it. That's with all the information. This is the result. But then we said, okay, maybe let's try giving some more information. So let's try again with Nico, with your information. I have scrapped your LinkedIn profile. So I choose your picture, then I have here your interests. Sorry, this is what I could take from your LinkedIn. So let's see if it's going to work, and your skills also for your LinkedIn. And let's see, again, let's make a little bit playful and the same prompt. So we just have to wait again and see what are your future. So you are a hackathon organizer. Perfect. You are also a community engagement wizard and AI innovation, and well, I think it's pretty accurate. So good luck in your future. And just for the lols, let's choose the picture of a duck that wants to be, I don't know, yeah, I choose some things about environment, and it's also a developer at DuckDuckGo. So let's see if a duck can be a hacker. And for skills, oh, sorry, mistake. Like this, and let's try make it a little bit funny also. And that's all. And let's see the results. But on the moment, we used ChatGPT for the processing and then Django for doing the website. And the duck will be a eco-friendly web development, open source duck lover, and that's it. Thank you very much for your attention. Questions from the judges?
Arno and Eric, thank you guys so much for the demo. It was very funny. I appreciate how, you 100% accurately determined Nick's future. Before I say like a question, I'll give you like a quick marketing point of view because that's kind of my strength. So I think on that, honestly, great job because it's really funny and it could go viral. It could be a really fun thing people do on like Instagram Reels or Twitter or stuff like that. I think that could be like a really fun use case for you guys. In terms of questions, I'm wondering how you guys are balancing like the photo versus the interests, and what the determining like balance is for that.
It depends on the prompt. Some prompts ask only judge by the picture, and some other prompts says, okay, but give me taking in consideration the skills and their interests. So that's why we have 5 prompts. I only did the demo with the one, but we can check the results of other ones.
Okay, so my question is related maybe to the risks on this, and mainly due to potential biases in terms of gender, which is like the classical kind of thing that might happen with pictures, female versus male. I wonder if you somehow tackle that, or even check like if for females the tendency to the job titles was in another direction or not. Like I wonder like that part of it.
Okay, yeah, I just added a line to the prompt saying try not to be racist or sexist, and that was our solution. And we tried with pictures of some stock pictures from females, and it was accurate, so no problem on that part.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we have Team Candit now, and if the SecAgents team could get ready on the side, please.
little Yelp. That's fine. Okay. Hello. Yeah, do I need a mic? Anyway, it's working? Okay, fantastic. Sorry about that. Okay, welcome everyone. We're Candit, and we're screening candidates at the speed of sound. And what does that actually mean? So imagine that you are an employer and you've just written a beautiful job description and you've posted that job description on a site like LinkedIn. You're trying to hire a front-end engineer here. And then what happens? You get hundreds of applicants and you don't know who the hell these people are, and you don't know who you need to spend time on to work out whether they're worth having an interview with or talking to. So there are multiple solutions for this problem at the moment, and many of them fail. And like one solution is you could personally read hundreds of CVs, but no one wants to do that. So we'll rule that out. You could filter the CVs with AI, but that's a low signal way to get a read on a candidate, and they're susceptible to keyword stuffing. So I could put AI, generative AI in my CV and then get through a screening filter. And you could also do recruiter interviews, but that's probably one of the best ways to get a good read on all of these people, but it's highly expensive. So we don't want to do that either. So we've built Candit, and we'll give you a demo of how it works now.
So yeah, going through this demo here that we'll be pulling up, we'll basically be showing you how the platform works, and along the way, explain you why each of these steps are potentially useful as an alternative to what is currently out there. Right. So right now, basically, to get started, you want to post a job. So if we go ahead and submit this, we enter the company, the role, and the job description. So our setup now is evaluating the job description to generate open-ended questions that can be shared with the candidate before any interview actually takes place. The candidates are answering these interviews and can then be evaluated for topical for like knowledge depth related to the job description and the topics as such, which is what is being generated here, right? Obviously, we don't just want to have the AI just evaluate the job description. So there's like a review process here where you can edit whatever you want and just make sure that this is actually the kind of open-ended questions you would like the candidates to answer for that description. So if we go ahead and submit this and find that everything is okay, that's the process. Now you have a link and you can share that with the candidate, which we'll show in a minute. At the other end of it, when they have actually submitted it, you'll get the dashboard with like the overview of the candidates. Once they have submitted their responses, it's being evaluated and they're being scored. And we here have a rank relative to their score, so that you don't actually have to do this evaluation, right? This could be thousands and thousands of resumes. These have now dynamically been evaluated, and all you had to do is post in that job description initially. And you have a summary for each of these candidates if you are interested in what were the actual performance on these different questions. You can also see the specifics potentially on a later version, and that's it.
So how does it actually look like for the candidate? So in this case, the candidate does a job application, gets a link from the company, and then what it does, it starts a chat within a Telegram. We have integrated with Telegram, where you ask to provide your email, and then it asks you those exactly 4 questions that you just generated and you leave a little voice message to each of the messages. So here we won't have time to go through all of them, so we just doing this so that you can see what happens. But in the end, these 4 questions are used to evaluate and to give this score that you've just seen in the dashboard from the different candidates. So normally they're obviously much longer, and then so basically this is what we're using to generate this. And why would you use our solution? Well, because it will save you lots of time for both sides of the spectrum. The candidate gets another way of introducing themselves apart from the CV, from wherever they want. And the organization save time on the part of the recruitment, which is the biggest volume, and getting another source for actually screening CVs, much more natural way. We've also thought about the future considerations, but given our time is over, I kindly ask you to read them. Thank you.
Questions? I guess, yeah, questions from judges?
Great presentation, guys. So, couple of questions. So, how much of this actually works? Like, does the voice actually get processed?
Yeah, it all works. That was a functional demo.
Yeah, great.
No, but I mean, I think we can answer the question, right? So for each of these steps, for each of these steps, like when you submitted that job description, those like that text goes to a server and it gets sent to our ChatGPT model for evaluation. The responses are the ones received from, they're not stored anywhere other than in our database after they are approved.
Okay.
Same thing on the actual evaluation of the candidates. So the scores that are given to the candidates, they're not random. They are relative to the actual performance that they had.
Cool. Awesome. And so, sorry for the brevity of time. And what did you guys use, like from a tech background? Like, did you use Python, Django? What do you do?
Backend's JavaScript in the pod. The top-down pod also JavaScript, and the front end was a React app.
Awesome. Okay.
And DeepGram for transcription, because there's also the point of getting the voice and turning it into text and then making the evaluation.
Okay, so you didn't go full multimodal. You didn't just pass the audio to for. Okay.
Really nice presentation. I like it a lot. One question: why go so complicated in doing like the audio input? Like, maybe I don't want to talk. Maybe I just want to type.
That's one of the assumptions we give here, and the future consideration. So we assume that everybody likes talking, but basically, when you normally go through the hiring process, they ask you to fill in all of the forms, this and this and this and this, and we all thought that it was quite tiresome. Like, how would it just be if you just talk, you know?
Well, and then I think one of our initial considerations was that, and then also the fact that it's a lot easier to fake if you just get a questionnaire, which is actually a way I have employed people in the past. You can kind of see that they're using models to fill in the questions. So if you ask them to just reply in voice, it becomes more natural.
Like it. Yeah,
yeah.
I like it. Thank you.
I think everyone has their preferred mode of putting data entry, I guess. So it's on mine.
I think it's smart. I think you're doing a lot of the work that also a human screener would do. So like if you're doing that by audio, you're winning a lot. Then you could also look at like embedding other types of AI mechanisms to look at tone of voice and try to like really go deeper there. Thank you.
Okay.
So now we have the team SecAgents, and then could the next team PocketPal get ready here, please? Up.
Hello.
I think you can just start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You put the timer. Okay. So hello everyone. We are the SecAgents team, and here I have Mark. He's an Android developer with some background in security, and I'm Alex. And myself, I stayed my whole life in the cybersecurity sector. And when we came here, we came because we want to deep dive in AI agents. So we pick a niche problem. That if you are using Amazon and you have your application in Amazon, maybe you are using Amazon Guard Duty, that basically it helps you to monitor to malicious activity. But each alert, you need to investigate if it's malicious or not and which actions do you need to take. And this will take like 20 to 50 minutes. And normally, like a startup, normally they have like 100 every day of these alerts. So what we built is different agents to help perform this investigation in autonomous way. And we realized that we can substitute the cybersecurity team with that. I'm going to run it because it lasts a little bit one. Okay. Mark is going
to explain a little bit about the ecosystem we built. So the ecosystem is based in three big categories. We got the agents, we got the specialists, we got the log engineer, the security engineer, and the remediation engineer. For each agent, we have to give him a brief description as a prompting of what is he going to do, what is the income that he will receive, and what are the tools that he will use. In order to use more than an LLM to just analyze all the data, we have bring some APIs and some external tools to help to analyze this alert. So basically, we use some tools like IP abuser or URL host domain that will analyze this attack in real life with real data and will tell us if there has been other reports from this malicious origin. Also, we got the task. The task will describe all the process that the tool has to deliver, and it will use all the agents that are capable of it, working between them to deliver all the tasks that we order. So basically now, we can see that there are some tasks like alert triage. This will take the task, this will take the alert, and will scan all the information that is bringing it, and will deliver some conscious information to the enrichment task. The enrichment task will search for these tools, will search for internet and from other repositories as a rack that we have built, and will give more information to the analyst task that the security engineer will be performing. This will keep going, and we will go to the external rack. We will get the Amazon Web Services paper that we prepare with all the playbooks that you have to follow in case of intrusion. And finally, the next step that will show up, as we said, it's a little bit slow, will be the report that will get all this information and will write a report of what causes it, what we have to do, and what are the remediations in this case.
So basically, if you are like in the security team, you will receive these, all the steps. Maybe I can go to the example that is already done. We can return later. So you receive all the steps. You can analyze all the steps and go to the track or go to the analysis and say, okay, like the agents perform a good job. But basically what is important is the final report. You have the executive summary. You can send to the DevOps or whatever, like what is really happening. Here it happens that you have some database instance public, and this IP from, I think it's from Vietnam, is trying to attack you. And what is more important that Mark talked about is about we have the rack with the Amazon playbooks that how to solve the problem. So basically, if we go here with the technical remediations, we can see that which are the steps that we need to perform in order to mitigate the problem, and also like the documentation that links to the information with the rack. Yeah, so basically this is the most important part, like the end result. And we can go here, it's still, yeah. Here it's like, you can see that the backend, the Crew AI framework, how is working, how is delegating tasks, how is going to the tools.
Yeah, great work, guys. I was talking with you yesterday, so I knew a bit of the idea. I just have one concern. So when you show us the report, can you show us the report again? How long would an engineer need to read this report?
Like 5 minutes.
Okay, so why don't you just automate the last steps, as you said, you know, like go log into AWS console, and like maybe the next step could be don't even read the report. If it has a certain threshold less than something, it's not very critical, just do the job, you know.
Yeah. The next steps will be like connect automatically to Amazon, so you don't have to put the log yourself, and like automate the next step with the commands that you need. Yeah.
And the second question I have, like the real question is, because it's an InfoSec related project, what is your opinion on using public models for doing everything that you're doing?
This is a really good question. Thank you. I will have the same question if I will be a company using that. But the truth is that really like what companies are performing right now is like using, for example, we are using GPT-4o, so you can use Azure private instance, and like the companies now, they trust in Microsoft. I think Microsoft have a lot of skill in the game right now. If they don't perform trust, it's his new business. So what if this will be going to production, we will use like some private instance and independent from each company. Yeah, but it's a concern that it's like we saw a lot of vulnerabilities in LLMs, prompt bypass, and so on. Like, yeah, it's still a new thing, so we have to take care about that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so super cool demo. Maybe just out of curiosity, what's your feeling, or how did you see the part of agents and so on? Like, I think it's relatively new. I think that was SimplifAI maybe.
Yeah, it's SimplifAI. Yeah.
It feels like from a like kind of outside perspective, right? Like maybe overcomplicating the part of you have to specify the very specific role and outcome and so on. Did you notice like how that brought relevant value added towards just general prompting and concatenating general prompting kind of thing? Like, what's maybe the feeling there?
We started like some basic stuff, but then we showed that we have to refine all these prompts to give him some rails to go into the problem that we were having and use the words that we were having. Also, we tried with Mistral, but it wasn't working as good as ChatGPT-4. But yeah, it was kind of like tuning the prompt to get the best solutions and trying the best examples.
For example, with the tools, what we experience is that we spend a lot of time like connecting the tool to CrewAI, like with LangChain tools, and we were thinking like maybe we can like make a request to the API and return the info like in the prompt ourselves, and will be faster. So yeah, I think it's like to make a demo, it's cool, fast. To make a production ready app, yeah, there are a lot of corner cases right now, but I think in the good way. Like CrewAI, it's 8 months ago, I think they come up. So yeah, good job from this guy. So yeah,
Super
I think the
impressive.
future is
Cool. Thanks.
All right. So we got PocketPal now, and next we're gonna have LevelAccess. If the LevelAccess team could be on the side here.
Okay, shall I go? Okay. Hello, hi everyone. It's David, Lix, and Enric, and we built PocketPal, which is an interactive audiobook using AI. So the idea is that you can control a story with a minimalistic interface, which is your phone, because you have, all of you have 2 buttons in your phone, one to put the volume up or down. So using these 2 buttons, you can steer the story. You can decide the flow. So when you start the story, you make a choice. You can go on an adventure or play video games. So you make your choice. And then using your headphones, you will listen to the story and you will keep moving on. And the audiobook, like it works very smooth because while you are listening one track, it's already calculating the next 2. So the latency is very low. And now we'll show you a demo.
Yes, for the sake of this demo, we are showing it as a web app and not as a mobile app. First, I want to just show that this is really how the UI starts. We have prepared 2 stories for you guys, but you can create your own stories later. We'll have some links. Yeah, my credit card is in there, so don't create too many stories, please. I'll just get straight into this one. We used Harry Potter for familiarity, but of course it supports anything. So I'll just get right into it.
You find yourself standing at platform 9 3/4, but something feels off. The familiar buzz of excitement is replaced with an eerie silence. As you approach the barrier, a sense of unease washes over you. When you finally cross through, instead of the bustling Hogwarts Express, you are met with an empty platform and a chilling fog. Things are not as they should be, and you realize this year at Hogwarts will be like no other.
So now, imagine you would press plus or minus, and thinking like, do you want to go forward or not? So, who would like to press plus? Hands up. And who would like to press minus? I think there were more plus, so let's do plus.
Oh, you decide to push forward, bravely stepping onto the deserted platform. You can't shake off the feeling of dread, but you know you must face whatever awaits you at Hogwarts. Despite the unsettling silence and the chilling fog, you manage to find a sense of determination. You make your way towards the Hogwarts Express, climbing aboard the empty train. You take a deep breath, ready to face whatever challenges this year will bring. As the train starts to move, you see a shadowy figure standing at the far end of the platform. Do you decide to confront it or stay on the train?
So now I'll just show you with the minus quickly.
You decide to ignore the shadowy figure for now, focusing instead on the shimmering map.
So this is the idea, and just as a final demo, I'll just show you that we also made sure to make it work well in Spanish.
Es Nicolas, el elfo de los bosques de Mirwood, ágil y efectivo, con una vista aguda que puede penetrar la más densa de las tinieblas.
Yes, so that's the demo. Let's move back to the presentation.
Cool. So yeah, you can try it out later, and then if you move forward, this is a quick user flow. So once we generate audio, we do that by giving a prompt with the button that you choose. You create a story with OpenAI's ChatGPT and LangChain, and then we generate the audio with 11 Labs. This pre-generated once you are listening to a track snippet, we are generating already the next 2, so we can download them pretty real time. And we have this deployed in Google Cloud with the storage and Cloud Run, and it runs pretty smoothly. So we encourage you to try it out in PocketPal.es. And that's it. Thank you.
Hello. Nice presentation, guys. So in terms of the stack, why and what are you using LangChain for?
Honestly, we're using 5 lines of code for LangChain to make a call to either OpenAI or Claude, because we were playing with the Sonnet model, which is a bit more creative, but we ended up with GPT-4o because it's a little bit more okay with writing Harry Potter stories.
Great. Bypassing the copyright. Great. Nothing else? Okay, thank you very much.
All right, so LevelAccess now, and then TrafficFlow. If you want to be on the side here, getting ready.
We just broke. Oh yeah. Oh, no, it's
Not even. All right. All yours.
Hello. Is this on? Okay. Is that on? Yeah? Okay. Hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. We are LevelAccess. Our mission is to allow users to discover the most accessible locations across their cities. So one problem that we identified living in cities and out of cities as well is that while some places, particularly on their Google Map profiles, claim to be accessible, there's actually a big disparity between these claims and actual accessibility, particularly when it comes to wheelchair access. So for example, some places might claim to be 100% accessible, but that might be a step leading up to their shop, fachada, for the opening entrance of their shop. On the metro, there might be a gap that's much bigger than they claim in between, the train and the platform. Or if there's an incline leading up to a shop, there might not be a handrail, things like that, for example. So we decided to create a platform that shows the true reality of these, of these accessibility claims. So using Street View images and AI generated image analysis, we're allowing our users to actually see, the true reality of this accessibility, so they don't encounter any difficult situations. So getting in a little bit to the demo. So users can actually search various locations to see if they're accessible. For example, like there's all over Barcelona, for example, La Sagrada Familia, but we can take a look at our host's accessibility, for example, here. So here you can actually see a little bit of information just surrounding, the specific location. And then there's an option for the user to calculate the accessibility of the location, and it'll bring up a probability score here. So there is a 75% chance probability that this location is accessible for people who use wheelchairs. So here in the image, you can see that there is a small ramp available. So it's likely that the user can enter this place, but it's not 100% likely that they can enter independently, for example. And then here we can take a look at like a local cafe, for example. And this probability is quite low. So this is 15%. So as you can see in the image, there's multiple steps to get up. And this probability is based on advanced prompting from our model. And then obviously it generates the reasoning as well from that prompting. So I'll pass over to Dora to talk more about the backend technologies.
Hi, I'm Dora, and I did all the backend. So the main backend is hosted on DigitalOcean. We use the Flask and the SQL Alchemy. It's a very local database. We use the Hookdeck to hook Replicate onto the server, and Replicate was really awesome to use the model prediction from Lava. And on the backend, we also use the two main APIs to get from the user searched location to latitude and longitude of the place. So that was Nominatim, and then Mapillary, which actually is owned by Meta, to go from latitude and longitude to the street level images. And that Mapillary is a open source database is of a street level user generated images. So people that go on a bike or just take photos of the city, they can upload this, and it will map the whole city. And for the model prediction, I'll pass it on to you.
Hello, I'm Ditsuhi. I focus on the part of the calculating probability score and creating prompt.
First, can I hear more? Can I just hear you finish?
So I use Lava model, which is multimodal language model using combined vision encoder and autoregressive language model, and it can understand and generate caption using both inputs, vision input and texture structure. So we give street view images and we calculate probability score. To give a prompt, we give a persona part introducing the task, trying to also mention who is the user, why it's important, that is crucial task, why it's doing, and next is a criteria. So we use the criteria if entrance is visible or no, if there is a step, if there is a ramp.
All right. We're gonna stop. Thank you. Okay, that's enough. Okay, this is really good. I like the presentation. Sorry that we're cutting you off. I have one question. So this is just pre-planning, right? If you are in the need of knowing this, you have to pre-plan. What if I'm kind of on the run? Do I use this website when I'm out and about? What's the idea here? Like simply, how am I going to use this as a user? Is it only for pre-planning or also when I'm out and about?
As a when people have disabilities, unfortunately, their life are all around pre-planning. There's no, let's go out and do this thing immediately. There's no
there's a lot of pre-planning involved in going out. Yes, unfortunately, that's me scanning all the venues or cafes that have no ramp access, and at least that would be a website that could do for us. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good answer. Also, what I'm missing here is kind of like you want to push people to really go like, hey, I want your place to be ramp available.
Yeah.
You should have like a little bit of a sticker or something that you put on the front door and then get people to be like, hey, you should have a ramp. But I love this product.
It could be like that. Like, could do like a negative score, like the top worst.
Thank you. Very well done.
Yeah, I think you guys made a really great use case for this. I think it's very practical. I have a question. I guess I have two questions. One is in terms of the accuracy. So how would you generally rate, like as you guys were testing this, the accuracy of that probability score and the general platform itself?
So the criteria that you use, for example, the entrance visibility. So if there is no visible, it gives the probability 0, and it generates text that the user provide another photo. And then if it's a door, for example, if there is a door, it has to be wide enough, and it has to be more than 32 inches or 86 centimeters. So it roughly can calculate the model and give some approximate value. And if it's higher of the threshold, so it gives a probability score. And then if there is a ramp, also the ratio of the ramp, and other criteria was steps, if there is a steps or no. If there is steps, so the probability is also 0.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And generally, when you are scraping the info from Google Maps, I assume this is Street View, or are you also taking, review photos and photos like that for calibrating the inside?
Yeah, this is not Google Street View because that data is not open source. This is using Mapillary, and so that's uploaded by users. And unfortunately, yeah, there's a lot of images that might not match. So I just typed before Sagrada Familia, and there's the photo of the ceiling of the Sagrada Familia. That's not going to be helpful. They have lots of APIs to help refining that. We just use the one look at these specific coordinates. But yeah, we would need the model to refine the images first, which we haven't done yet. So that would be like the future step.
Okay, that makes so much sense. Yeah, I still think it's really cool. I think I align more with what Linus says about this being about advocacy and shaming businesses to make sure they, think about stuff like this. So yeah, I think I like it a lot.
Thank you.
All right. So we have TrafficFlow AI right now, and next we have AQ app. If you want to get lined up there and get ready. Is it right?
Yeah. Sorry. My bad. Sorry. Okay, so let's start. Hi, we are Jordi, Jose, and me, Pau, and we are going to present TrafficFlow AI, which is a project we have been working during this weekend. So what is TrafficFlow AI? Basically, it's a tool that helps us to to manage all the traffic that is on Barcelona. As we know, Barcelona is not known as a really good traffic handler, so we want to try to help to solve all these problems by analyzing some images or videos that we can pass through our AI to analyze and get some data about what we are passing. So what kind of data are we going to pass through this AI? So basically, Jose is going to explain us how this works.
Okay, so
Oh, it's not running. Okay, so, well, if this is working correctly, you will see here a video that we recorded Friday's afternoon of a traffic jam in Gran Via, Barcelona. So our idea is to track the speed of the traffic and the cars and represent it on a table dynamically, as you can see here. And we have for every frame that happens in the video, the track ID and the speed of the video. And also we have done another thing that is, imagine that you have, well, that you are, for example, exiting for the holidays outside Barcelona and you encounter a traffic jam. We have developed a counter that counts the number of cars that is in a queue. Oh, nice. Okay, so all in all, first, you have the video and the ID and the speed of every car that happens in every frame of the video. Below that, okay, you have the traffic jam and the counter that counts every car that is in the traffic jam. So for this, we used Python with Flask and React with Next.js. And for the models, Jordi is going to explain more about it.
Okay, we use ultra-leading models. There is a state.
In a real case scenario, could be better to have a real-time video. So in this case, maybe not for the user, but just for the government, let's say, it could be easier for them to collect some data and make some improvements over the city. So let's say you have this entrance of Barcelona and you have only 2 slots for the cars. So maybe it could be easier to available one more. So it could be easier to the cars to enter Barcelona. It could be less time for you and better for the government to organize all this. So using all this data, you can analyze
each.
I have no idea.
Oi.
Okay. The cost, we haven't computed that. It's quite expensive. Like if it was like my choice or I had more time, I think I would try to go for open source options because there was a group that used Lava before, which you can run locally without Llama. YourTravelSong is quite cheap. Like we had 20 credits. We used it a lot and it was fine. We're like at 18 euros still. GPT-4o is quite expensive. I think we had like $5 in credits and we're now at 3.5. But I haven't checked exactly the cost of this.
Let's say, so first of all, great presentation. So imagine that you get a sponsor and you actually go and build this up, apart from the cost. How are you going to make sure that the recommendation and the analysis actually make sense? How are you going to benchmark it? Like, what's your plan around actual making sure that the data is consistent and just not something made up?
I think
I'm asking you this question because before Anna was asking about the bias in general when we talk about body language or anything. So just your thoughts on how would you make sure that the data is actually solid?
I think that for this particular sort of project, fine-tuning is required. Especially, I'm worried that the body language might be different from different different people. And then for the first topic you were talking about how to market it. No, you asked
So how to measure it in a way like that what you're giving out is actually correct.
I think we would have to come up with a large evaluation set and then use some sort of tool for tracking like MLflow or Langsmith, something like that, to just ensure that in production it keeps working as expected.
You didn't think about it, right? You didn't think about it, really?
No, not really.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I see a lot of use cases for people who are looking for speech coaches and presentation coaches, which is a really big field. A question I have is, how accurate is it? How would it work, for example, if there's two people on stage? Is that a possibility?
That would be a possibility. For example, YourTravelSong already provides you with an option in which it can identify different speakers, like it has diarization. And then you have to assume that VLLM is going to be enough to recognize multiple speakers. I think a lot of work would need to be behind this to ensure that the whole process works effectively. But I think it's definitely doable. Like having multiple people in the same presentation, having different turns. So I don't think it's a problem.
Okay, super cool. I could totally see this being very actionable.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I've seen a lot of like this type of coaching or one-to-one chats, and this could kind of automate that and lower the cost of having like a person providing feedback and this type of thing. Maybe general question though, what would you say was the hardest part technically to arrive to this solution? Like, was it dealing with video? I think you mentioned the part of chunking and the minutes and making that alignment. I don't know if that was the toughest part or...
I think that the toughest part is actually ensuring that the chunks from the video are properly chunked and not just done quite randomly. Even though YourTravelSong does it quite nicely, I think it has room for improvement. And then if you want to align that with the frame aspect from the video, it's quite tricky because it's like two different processes and you have to ensure in parallel that they are going to yield the same timestamps like at the same time. And now it's a bit hard-coded, like every like X amount of seconds, let's just group it, get aggregated measurements and go with it. But that's the trickiest part, probably. Thank you.
Awesome. So we go back to our regular programming and we get AQ app. Right, if you fix your issues, and we fix the camera. So if you're watching us on YouTube, we're back. Thanks to Camila, that went very smoothly. Exactly. Do you have it on the other side? No. All right, let's try this. And then you have it on StreamYard already shared, right? Genial. Allow, and then I think
So hello everyone, we are Hector, David and Valentina. We are presenting AQ App, which is an app that tracks air quality and combines some data so the user can have personalized recommendation. I leave Hector, our air quality expert.
Oh, thank you. Well, in this work, we addressed a critical issue about which is air pollution. Air pollution is a currently major issue in urban populated areas, and just a statistic, around 30,000 of the deaths in 2019 were attributed to air pollution. If we see in Barcelona during 2024, air pollution level exceeds frequently the recommendation of World Health Organization. So we should breathe the air of PM levels under this red dotted line. So the next one. The goal of this project is raise awareness about the dangers of air pollution among the public. Understanding what you breathe is key for making informed decision to enhance your quality of life. And by being informed, you can take proactive steps to improve your health and contribute to the positive to the environmental. So now I will give to David to explain how.
Thank you. We created a little diagram to explain how the information works, flows. So we have the different inputs. Regarding the details about the user, from the city, we need to get the coordinates, and then from there, we get the current air pollution, and all of that is fed together with this is a very important piece. The know-how that Hector has around this, we put all this together into the LLM, and with LLM, we provide the information. I will show you now a presentation, but the user at this point can ask some questions regarding what they are doing, or and depending on the different inputs, the answer will be different by the LLM. So let's see if this works. So first, this is my personal information. I will send it only for the first time. Sorry, typing with one hand and being nervous is a bad combination. Here I have, let's see, here I have the current physical condition. And here, basically, the first thing that we ask is in which city are they, because that way we can get the coordinates to know what's the current air pollution situation. So I say, is important, Barcelona. And then basically what we do is we, at this point, allow them to ask 3 types of questions. If you want to offer a run, how is their condition regarding yourself, and what are they doing to see what can they do to improve their situation. I will do, for example, the running one, and this is connecting real time. And yeah, it's a good time to go for a run. So this is checking like if it's a good time to go for a run, and if not, depending on their situation and their pollution, and if it's not, it's recommending a different time, right? And then, so you have the different options. For example, in this one is more random, but you can say like, I'm doing a presentation in a hackathon. So if I send this, so this is answering like streaming the thing, but it's going to tell me like, whatever. I don't know what it's going to say because it's like this doing it real time. But maybe like ensure that you turn off the light or something like that. The light. Sorry, I forgot to mention that we created an API for Max, wherever he is, because that way he will be happy. And we put some hearts for it, and we created documentation and everything. So external developers can use this thing as well to make awareness grow. That's it. Any questions? No. Just one more thing. We are that I mentioned. We are using Llama 3 And you can choose between Llama 3 or Mistral when you are using the platform, and we are using Grok to make the answer go faster. Because
yeah. Yeah, because their pollution affects in different ways to the different people, from elderly and teenagers and yeah, that's it.
It's like no, but I mean, depending on the question that you ask, is going to give you one recommendation or the other. The age is especially used in the second one, and it's going to like tell you how good it is based on your range. So if it's very bad outside, maybe depending on the age, it's going to say you better stay home today or do something else. And if you are not, then it's going to tell you there is a risk, but it's not so big the risk for you. That's why we have this like couch thing. We actually did this. Hector prepared like based on the data of the pollution that he has from the last 6 months. And we are able to tell that there are certain days and certain hours that are better than others. But this is just an aggregation. What we are planning to do in the future is making it like more how are the conditions in this last week to make it more accurate even. But right now we already have that table that we are using in here. Cool. Thank you for asking questions.
That's perfect. Now I have another excuse to not go running. Is the pollution. All right, so now you have this, or you have the HDMI. Perfect. And so now we have TrafficFlow. And next, if the Mulet team can be ready on the side. All right, your TrafficFlow is next.
Cool. So I begin. I'm Ayu. These are Manel and Matthias. And we are going to make the world a better place by revolutionizing the world of personalized ads. So our thinking behind this was that currently personalized ads are based on your search history. They're based on maybe posts that you interact with, if it is from social media and so on. And we thought that there's an untapped source of data for this, which is the music that you listen to. So basically, we figured that if you were able to get the lyrics from the songs that you listen to, and also in this case, we focused it on traveling, the destination description, and we were able to optimize them in some embedded space, we will be able to provide a very personalized type of traveling destination based on the music that you listen to. And now Manel is gonna make a little demo of the app.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, this is kind of like a mock-up of our kind of like API software, right? And this would be kind of like to showcase the functionality, but as you said, it would work kind of like an API, and you would make a request for it with your custom like functionality, and then it would give you the output, which we will see in which format it would give it, right? So thank you. So it would prompt like a song that you're listening to. For example, let's say, I don't know, Lose Yourself from Eminem. So you would say the title of the song, then it would ask for the author. We say Eminem. Now it thinks, and we should get the top result, which is like the city that you're most, it would be like the preferred city that you would like to visit or travel to. It would say also, I don't know, oh here, okay. It would say like the explanation behind it. And once it has done that, it can also have other recommendations if it has any. In this case, it doesn't, so it doesn't showcase anything. But furthermore, we like also to give an kind of like an idea for the future, which is this, and it's it's implemented already, which is like a personalized travel plan in like a real time, looking and fetching at the like the flights that are available to go to that country, right, or to that city. So we say, show me, and it would think for a little bit, and it would show kind of like different travel plan ideas. For instance, if you want to go to Detroit, you have an available flight with this flight company, airline, and it has a departure at 11:11 with a price of 87 euros.
And now Matthias will make a presentation of the workings behind it.
So the idea here is that to provide to the client one API that as input has the title song, okay, and the artist for the moment. In the future will be a song, a video, or whatever. And the goal is to provide the recommendation here to the client. The recommendation for the moment is a travel plan. So for instance, one flight with the date and the company. That information is real. Actually here we mine from different APIs, for instance, from eDreams, and we provide real flights. But in the future, we plan to provide all other plans, for instance, hotels, events, whatever related with the song and the place there is that we mine from this song. For the moment, the input is only just one lyrics, one song, but then in the future we want to expand the API and provide multiple songs in order to have more information about the client. Okay, here the client. We think that we have different people that are interested in to know more about the users. For that reason, we provide an API.
Yeah, and I think we don't have any time. No questions?
Guys, so in terms of the inputting a song and then getting a destination, is this kind of to help people decide where to specifically go?
Sorry. What we really intended was that our customer would be somebody like eDreams in this instance, and we'd be sort of embedded in how they make their arts and for whom. So basically, if eDreams has an API that gets the data from what the customer is listening to on Spotify, they would give it to us. Our API would do the working in try and finding the matching destination, and the matching destination will go back to eDreams for them to display the ad for that specific destination to the user that they are tracking.
Okay, so it's like a cultural matching almost.
Yeah.
Is it able to create, like, listen to or understand the last like 10 or 15 songs, or is it really focused on like the last song exactly?
For the moment, the input is just one song, but in the future, we plan to expand this API to N songs. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for a good presentation. I'm going to roast you a little bit. So actually, Detroit is not a really nice place to travel to if you listen to Eminem. And if I listen to Eminem, I don't want to go to Detroit. So in the case of eDreams, selling me a flight there would be a failure. But I like the idea. Maybe it's falling apart a little bit in the execution. What do you see? Like, personalizing ads is obviously a huge thing. But if you look at the other end of things, I'm doing everything in my power to reduce ads with AI as well, right? So how would you combat the fact that like eDreams are fighting like almost like a really hard fight here, or any customer? I'm just taking eDreams as an example.
Sorry, I didn't
imagine me as a user. I'm doing whatever I can to remove ads, installing ad blockers, using new ad blockers that are powered by AI. And you're trying to make better ads, but the problem is still there on the other side that like, I don't want ads in the first place. I'm just roasting you. Don't have to have an answer.
The idea here is maybe to help the advertising companies to provide more information about the clients. So we don't want to show even we are not the providers of ads, but actually this was an example there. But actually, we want to provide more information. Or say, okay, this guy is listening to this kind of music. Maybe if you propose information about a travel, maybe he's interested in getting a travel to Detroit or whatever. So it's more. We try to provide more information to the ad company.
Yeah, I get that. So how are you getting what music I'm listening to? How are you getting that data?
The idea would be the idea.
I ain't gonna share that with you publicly, right?
I don't think that it really exists nowadays, but this would be a revenue stream for companies like YouTube or Spotify for their free tier, for example. Instead of just displaying ads.
There you go. Why didn't you show that? Sorry, I'm roasting. I'm going really hard on this one, but like you should have shown that. You should have said, "Hey, this is for like a potential customer like Spotify." I would have got that straight away. Thank you. I'm not going to roast you any further, but thank you.
Fair enough.
So first of all, super cool idea. I really liked it. I agree. Detroit is not a great city, so maybe still some work there. The first thing, do you just take into account the lyrics, and do you just do a text to speech, or do you take things like emotion and beats and RPM as well? And then the second thing is, how would you kind of maybe change your architecture if instead of doing a recommendation based on one song, you would do it on a playlist or a Discover Weekly, or let's say an aggregate of the last songs that you've listened to, which is a little bit similar to the question that she had, but maybe more from a technical perspective.
I think that is a really good question. So answering to how to do it technically in order to provide the main thing that we had was when we get the embedding of one song and we get the embedding of one city description, it's kind of easy to match them with whatever similarity measure. But when we get like several ones, we didn't know whether to add the embeddings or element-wise product of the embeddings and so on. That's something that we should just try and figure out the best way. And in terms of the sentiment, right now we are just using the lyrics themselves only. But in future work, what we would like to do is to train a smaller model, basically on trying to predict sentiment based on a text corpus, basically, to kind of modify the embedding space a little bit, so they match in terms of sentiment and not so much just in semantic meaning, if that makes sense.
All right. Thank you. So next we have Mulet's team and then DocLingo. And we have, after DocLingo, we have 7 teams left, I believe. Nuria, let's time the questions as well. Vamos a poner el tiempo de las preguntas también, si se puede. A ver. ¿Estamos?
All right. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank Nico, because, well, our team is a special team because, well, when I saw the first time you're basically invited to join, I said, wow, what the hell? I mean, I'm working as a project manager in projects like these ones, AI, but I never have an opportunity to touch code, basically, because I am the project manager, managing budgets, whatever. I have some background in technology. I say, well, what the hell? We can try. But I say, well, I need a team. And I say, well, who can be with me? And I thought, oh, it would be a fantastic thing to try to convince my children to be with me. And initially, when I put this on the table, well, they say, no, you are full. You will be in front of people that know more than us. I say, what the hell? I did the invitation, and finally we are here. Ricard, and it's like a family activity. So a family activity, a weekend all together here with Ricard, with Mikel, and unfortunately we have here in the connected at YouTube, Georgina. Georgina was with us also yesterday, but due to the stomachal problems, she needs to stay there. Kudos for Christina, for Georgina also, because really she helped a lot to us. Okay, now the pitch. Well, Georgina is working. She has 23 years old. She is 33 years old, and she's working as a social and educational professional. She's helping children and young people that sometimes have or are at risk, at social risk. And sometimes, a lot of times, she has problems to prepare the activities, to prepare the dynamics, to prepare what we will do tomorrow. And we thought, okay, let's try to see if we can have an application that using GenAI or using AI can help you to do it better, with more quality, and probably also with some hallucination. Why not? Huh? And okay, we considered that, well, was an option. And if you can display, well, we have here our pilot. Yep.
Well, we have here themes, one more general, this is the generic, and the other one that's emotional education, gender, and intentionally, and self-care and care for other people that have their respective system prompt that here, I think, that depends of the more specific of that, this context is different for all that. And well, we have here, also we have the language of the answer, Spanish, Catalan, English, French, and the question. For example, we have that we go down and ask the question. The design activity I meant to the children aged 6 to 9 years to reflect on the construction of gender. That's one of the typical questions, to have the voice to go there.
Yeah, and think about that this is more, it's not a typical school, it's basically focused on people, or in this case, children or young people with social problems. I mean, it's not typical school.
I think here we have the question, and well, you can see here that develop this question with the objective, the materials to use, how this develops, and also we have see here the reference of all that appear. And when you could see here, if you change the language of that, or for example, the themes that I explained before, gender and intersectionality, for example, could change a little. What's the
Yeah, the answer is changing a little. It's curious because the question is the same, the language is the same, but when you change the prompt and you say, well, I'm a different person, or more focused on different mathematics, the question or the answer is different, and curiously also because behind the scenes we have this is based on that. Also the reference are different. We don't know exactly what is happening behind the scenes, why the model is changed now, because the database is the same. But
Yeah. No.
Because they answered the questions.
Hola. Miquel, so no, first of all, congrats. I think that as tech people, we are very used to using ChatGPT and being able to ask anything, but I've seen how people outside tech struggle to understand the potential there. And I think that maybe products like this one that aim to tackle specific problems with prompts behind for specific use case or type of people that is outside tech really have a potential there. So first of all, congrats on that. Mainly the question is mainly related to the type of advice it gives. Like, is it right now still based on like general LLM knowledge and specified through prompting, and whether at some point like there are some specific, I don't know, sources of this type of of this type of education or yeah.
Well, for the indexation and all the database, for take all the information,
I produce the program that goes through a folder that we have like 70, 80 files related to the theme of social education, and the program extract the text from them, and sorry, but I'm very nervous. Extract the text from them. Then we use a token splitter to improve the indexation. Also, we used a model of an open model from Hugging Face that generates the vectors text embedded, if I'm not wrong. And also these were stored in a quadrant where there are all the information, all the tokens.
Do the video thing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sorry, I have an unfair advantage. I was speaking with them yesterday, so no, later we have to be mindful of the time. But thank you.
Google's problems. Google Cloud.
Really good presentation, guys, even though it went a bit over time. I think this is a noble idea, a noble thing to do. Like, I am advising a company in this space that are doing teacher planning in general for like K-12 education. And it started simply in the same vein where you have a RAG implementation and you're doing stuff for teachers. Because again, I want to echo that, like not everyone knows how to use LLMs and to work with them, and making the interface simple by hiding a lot of things behind buttons and giving a more GUI interface for people to work with is a super practical way to kind of provide value quickly. So well done on that. And I think it didn't shine through properly that you are using RAG behind the scenes. So you're actually providing a lot of documentation that is very domain specific. So well done on that implementation, even though if it's simple or not, it's also a problem. So thank you very much. I don't have a question. I just want to say that. Thank you.
All right, cool. Now we have DocLingo, and next we'll have FlightMate.
All right. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are Vero, Romy, and Alberto, and along this weekend we have been building DocLingo. We all have encountered the situation that we go to the doctor and we come with some results for us, for our family, for our children. And the first thing we do is to Google because we don't understand anything. Now we use ChatGPT. Okay, so we have built DocLingo, which is an AI agent that enables doctors to query their databases using natural language, generates clinical reports automatically, and also helps them to translate complex medical terminology into an easy-to-understand language for their patients. This enhances doctor-patient communication, drives better informed decisions, and finally, it will help improve the healthcare outcomes. For this, we have been fine-tuning to AI models, to LLMs, one for querying the database, and the other one for generating reports and summaries from the clinical events stored in the database. And now we will explain how we did it.
Okay. We use for create the database because the idea is not only have the prompt of the definition of the diagnosis, we want to have the context of the patient, and for this reason we create using Syntea. This is the open source that you can create the database of the hospital, and here is the simulation of the hospital in Massachusetts, and then we create the ATLs, and using one standard, this is very common in the medical industry, that you can create the structured data using OMOP database. No, all this architecture we create using Docker, and then when you create this database, you can have another information about DTL files, documentation, because it's open source community, Odysseys, and for this reason, a lot of research in the world have information about the database and the queries. For this reason, we can use the fine tuning using Bana AI. This is the model that is prepared for execute text and extract, and the response is the SQL commands. And here the idea is you don't need to train the model using the different database, because you can select what is the database that you want to execute this query. And then we use another kind of data source. This is medical notes, and we use having face for labeling. The idea is to extract and try to understand what is the way that commonly the doctors write notes. And we use fine tuning, and the other model that we use is Mistral AI. I can repeat, for this reason we have the questions. The questions you can give, then you have the response to the query execute, you can execute in the mock database, and then you have the results. In the other model, you can respond in the easy way for the patient. No?
And we built an app using Streamlit that you can query about a patient and then retrieve the results.
From this is one. I have the identification because OMOP don't have the real name of the patient. This is the simulation. But if you have the real database in the hospital, maybe you can combine this data. And you have in summary, this is the diagnosis that this person has, and then if you have the explanation of the query, seconds, and this is the explanation of the query, taking account the context of this patient.
Listo, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's say you build this app, it works. How will you convince your users to use this? Because this is something, as Anna was saying before, like techie people, we are using ChatGPT or Copilots all the time. This is essentially Copilot for doctors, right? So how will you convince them that they can trust the system?
Well, actually, this is a kind of tool that has been requested to us from doctors. So it's the doctors. So this is a tool focused on the doctors, not on the people. So they normally, even not only for single consultations daily day, but when they have to generate a clinical report from a whole stay in the hospital for 1 week, they need to. They normally copy paste everything. So the idea is to help them not to do that, but just using AI.
No, the other point is when you go to the hospital, maybe you have the primary assistance, and these people is no medical, or for example, if you have oncology, maybe you don't have the primary assistant with the oncologist, and for this reason, maybe another people like nurse can read these conditions and maybe try to explain at the people in the other way. No.
Thank you for a good presentation. I actually think this is a really good idea. And I also know that in healthcare, there's a massive shortage in time. So anything that can save, 5% here and 1% there, this will be very kind of received. The question here is like, this is a blank state problem though. Like you go in here and you're consulting, you need to know what you're asking for. Otherwise you're not going to see anything, right? So how do you make sure that you don't end up in a position where physicians or people that work in the hospital spend time querying for things that is like, okay, I don't even know what to ask for, Like you're moving the problem from one side to another. what's your take on that? Or like, is that even a problem, or is it just me?
Yeah, well, we envision two use cases. Mainly, one is for this. You want information about one single patient. And the other one is to query about populations, about what is called cohorts. So you are looking, I want to see women older than 30 that had more than 2 children and that have been taking this drug, for example, and then you can generate this kind of information. So we like the idea that is open enough so that you can query for a single patient to generate a single episode of a patient, not the whole life, but a single episode, but also that you can query things about population for epidemiology to understand, for example, with COVID, with vaccines work better in different populations.
Not only for the health industry, it's also for the pharmaceutical industry, because they need to know how is the distribution of the population on the
So it's a tricky question here. How do you deal with hallucinations?
That's why we don't use the model by itself, asking for just text-to-text generation. That's why we go to the actual database, and then we build on top of that. So there are different things. Another thing that we haven't used is to use knowledge graphs on the possible disease, drug, adverse events, relationships. There exist several knowledge graphs in the medical domain. So that would be the kind of grounding the thing to avoid the
I was just going to say, I
hallucination.
think you're going to have to rely heavily on a graph for this to be kind of like super safe, because you don't want an error rate of 0.1. You basically want super secure stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
How is this system going to work with anonymization about the patients? Because if the model can access everything and you can also search by an ID or something, then the model have access to everything.
Not really, because, for example, OMOP is an anonymized database. That's what he said. The model is going to be running internally. The only thing you get is the actual events. So what you send to the model is a sequence of events. So it was hospitalized at this date, it took this drug, and whatever. So there is no non-anonymized data going to the model. Yeah. Our medical code, so it's pretty anonymous, everything.
Era justo 4. Okay. All right. So flightmate, come on here. All right. See. We're gonna have a bit of setup. All right. And next we have MealMatcher. MealMatcher, EloquentAI, DermaTech, Kidventure, SimplifAI, and MeetingMind. We're like, we're almost done, guys. We've been here for 2 hours. This is cool. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I do, as much as our judges do, right? No pasa nada.
Pero ahora no sé si está el escritorio y tengo que abrirlo todo.
All right. ¿Lo quieres? Sí. Wow. This is hot here.
Es que es un rollo, el portátil que maneja.
¿Quiere hacerlo? ¿Hasta dónde te llega el cable?
No, está bien. Solo tengo que...
Porque si no lo haces mientras el otro equipo presenta.
No, ya está.
¿Ya está? A ver. O podemos empezar con de presentar el proyecto mientras está haciendo eso. ¿O ya lo tienes? ¿Tienes el StreamYard?
No,
Ok.
me decía que...
Pues ya debe estar, ya lo debe de...
Ahora que lo has conectado, ¿eh?
A ver. ¿Y el StreamYard?
Vale, es que tengo que abrir Discord, claro.
¿No lo tienes en las últimas cosas que has visto?
Por eso te decía que me dieras un
Sí,
segundo.
vale. Entonces estamos en el Discord. All right, we're getting there, we're getting there. Sí, let's go. Es el fin. No. Scroll. Yep. Ok. Sí. Permitir el acceso. Permitir. Desactiva audio, cámara. Pones cualquier nombre abajo. Okay. All right, now we're ready. Oh. Whew. All right, all yours.
Hi, thank you for your patience. Sorry,
Let's make sure.
my borrowed laptop sucks. ¿Se oye bien? ¿Se oye bien? Ah, vale. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. And it's nice to work together. So we designed what we called a flightmate. FlightMate is a tool for developers that it's designed to optimize the passenger experience as well as airlines and travel websites. So our goal was to be able to predict flight delays because it really sucks. Like in every end, when you, for example, booked a flight and suddenly you get to the airport and it's delayed, or well, it's the same, but the estimated time of arrival, it's delayed, and you have like this is if you have plans or you have to take more than one flight, right? So what we did. We used a combination of 500,000 historical data points combined with synthetic data to create variables. Se dice así en inglés. Variables. So we could train our model, which in this for time constraints and others, we use a random forest classifier model with sample data of 50,000 points. So we achieved an accuracy of 87% for non-delayed flights and 80% for delayed flights. And it takes into account not only things like the airline or the airport of departure or arrival, but it also takes into account the day of the week, if there are seasonal factors, like if it's snowy, if it's storming, also if there are holidays, or even if there are political factors, like for example, economic sanctions, or maybe the route has been modified because of and is restricted because of things like war, right? So I think pretty much I said all, no? This tool has a potential to be trained with real data in real time. Sorry, if given access to subscription-based APIs. And also, with more time, we can use our pre-processed data or the real-time data to input, to train other models that will not only tell you if your flight is delayed or not, but also by how many minutes and the reasons why. And what else? Yeah, so okay, so for demonstration purposes, we created like a simple chatbot, and so you can like put the flight number, and let's say you're going with this airline, and you're departing from San Francisco, and you will arrive to Houston Wednesday. Predict. Your flight is delayed. Thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you. Next team.
¿Está bien? You have...
Okay, sorry, one question.
I think I will be worried if you don't have questions.
No, like cool presentation, and definitely thing that is painful to all of us at some point. I wonder, like, other than just like the specific prediction, if you were able, because sometimes it's more interesting like to gain insights on, okay, what are the main reasons for these delays, and as providing general knowledge to people. So like, okay, I should avoid flights on a Sunday evening. I don't know, like this type of insights. Did you manage to get this type of, I don't know, by feature importance or anything related to
We didn't manage to get to that point, even though we wanted, but because of time constraints, but it is possible to find the correlations and the causes of why, I mean, what are the main reasons why that specific flight is delayed? And that would also lead to the potential to gather more statistical data to show what are the main causes. But now, because of using historical data and also mixing it with synthetic data, it's kind of biased, so we didn't really get to that.
Okay, thanks.
All right, cool. Thank you. So next we have MealMatcher, and the one after we said it was EloquentAI. So get ready. Gracias.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that looks good.
Always
works.
Yes.
So, hello everyone. I'm David, and I'm a vegan.
Hello, I'm Dia here, and I am keto.
Hello, I am Juan, and I eat everything. But the problem is, whenever I want to go to a restaurant with my friends, it's very difficult to find a place that has both vegan and keto options. You can see this, for example, in Google. If you search for vegan food, you only find vegan places. If you search, for example, for gluten-free food, you only find gluten-free places. But what if we want to eat something else that has these options, but it's not the main food? This is not a problem only for us. This is a problem for many people, such as you can see here. So what is our solution? The problem is that this information is not available in the restaurant itself. We have to go deeper. We have to get into the menu, to the dishes, and into the ingredients. So in order to do this, we first developed a data collection tool, which is a web scraping application that uses an AI agent based on LLMs, which iteratively searches through the URLs of a restaurant page until it finds the menu. Then after it finds the menu, it extracts the information of all the dishes and the ingredients of the dishes and puts them in a structured way, in this case, a JSON file. We do this for many restaurants using the Google Maps, Google Places API, and then we created a small database for this demonstration. Then we created the main application for the front end that uses this database.
So, as you can see, this is the main web app. And for example, let's pretend that my name is Sophia and I'm a vegan. So here you can see our lovely city, Barcelona. And here are some of the restaurants, not explicitly vegan restaurants, where I can find some sort of meal. And we also have an LLM here, which can search through our what we just analyzed and parsed and find some interesting dishes. So here there's a restaurant. Even though I'm vegan, I still want to eat a burger. And here at Can Cortada, I can find an hamburguesa de verduras, which is suitable for vegans. But not only that, let's say I'm looking for a restaurant for multiple people. I can add myself and choose my dietary restriction. And then, as you can see, a few of the restaurants have been removed from the list. And these are the restaurants where we could go eat together and have like a nice meal. Was that?
Yeah, back to the presentation. Right. So maybe what we do with the search, we really focused on the data collection part, and after the fun stuff begins. So we created a vector DB, we created embeddings for the dishes, the ingredients, and the comments, for example, and really went into detail, from the restaurants, and created an API which can query like the different areas we could want. And then we implemented an agent, a RAG agent. Well, maybe the sentence. So the RAG agent basically can decide for the question what kind of information it needs and can retrieve like the information based on the question and then answer based on that. So for dietary restrictions, it would be the ingredients, for example.
It's a great idea, guys. I think this is a very valid problem that a lot of us face when we're especially going out in groups. Just out of curiosity, I know, again, it's a hackathon. Do you know how will you monetize something like this?
I think typically, and there are products like there's diet specific, like similar things. And what they normally do is they'll give you like a 2-week free trial. You see, oh, I know all the restaurants near me, and then, you know, that's like a $3 a month kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because this is totally something that I would use in like one-off use cases, because otherwise I try to not be friends with vegans. No, I'm joking. But I think, yeah, I like that you list all the items that are vegan and keto or anything else. So are you going through every single one and making a guess about if they are vegan or keto, or how are you kind of making that assumption? Because it's not always clear in the name of the dish.
So basically we have 2 layers. The one is we would search in the vector DB for, like, for example, the query, and then we would use an LLM to really analyze if it's vegan and retrieve the result based on the answer of the LLM.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the data collection, we try to get as much information as we can, the name, the ingredients, and also dietary restrictions if they are available. Sometimes the PDFs have these symbols, and the models that we are using sometimes recognize them and can put the dietary restrictions. But if they don't, then the model will make an assumption based on the ingredients.
And will you list all the items for every single dietary preference, or how would you move forward with that? Let's say there's only like one veggie option or one keto option.
For the restaurant, we would then just show one dish in the restaurant. Basically.
No, I mean in terms of the menu. The menu only has like, maybe it has like 10 meat dishes and then only 2 veggie dishes. Do you still list them together?
Yeah, this is actually a great use case. So for example, there's a barbecue place in Plaza Catalunya, and they have a veggie burger. So I could go to this barbecue place, and so those are like the ones we're looking for. Those like candidate restaurants that maybe you wouldn't guess have something for everyone, but actually when you look at the menu and look through it, they actually do have stuff.
So also on the monetization part, I think there's many ways to go, right? Because you're obviously going to send people to places that want visibility. So maybe even like displaying ads. It's a good idea here from the restaurants themselves. Also, the other side of this is like if I'm opening a restaurant or if I want to serve this underserved community of vegans and ketos, because there's only 3 options or 5 options, I could go here and try to figure out where is a good opportunity to open a place, right? So it could be a marketing research tool as well. It's nice to see this. I really like it. I think you're solving a problem that many people have. Yeah, cool.
All right. We are almost at the end. We have 5 more projects, EloquentAI, and next is DermaTech. Yes.
Thank you. Make sure it's on. It's on and not.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's working. Yeah. Go on.
Vale, cuando quieras. Sí, sí. Okay. Okay, hello. My name is Luken. These are my partners, Andres and Diego. As you know, as many of you, we are migrants here in this city. So we wanted to do something by migrants for migrants using AI. So as you know, there's a big crisis happening with migration today in Europe and in most of the world. And you also know that it's probably a nightmare for many of us to deal with the Spanish government or any government agency when we're trying to access their digital platforms and do any kind of procedure or anything regarding legal procedures or anything. So we wanted to build a virtual assistant. It's called Hermes that will help migrants arriving at the country to better understand the way that every procedure is made and how to access legal information without having to go to lawyers or any kind of intermediary. So we built a virtual assistant. Diego is going to show you a small demo.
Thank you. So let's see how the environment looks like. For this, we have ingested all the data from the Ayuntament Barcelona town hall. So for this, we have a chainlit interface where we can select one of the suggested questions. So in this case, we can see how the user has selected one of them. And the good part is that we are going to have the grounded links here. So we are extracting the real data from there. We can go for speech as well. So we're having a model, in this case, Whisper One, which is transforming the audio into text. And we can have questions and answers from different procedures we have to face. For example, we can have, once we have one of the answers, it's obvious that sometimes we need to have this answer stored. And for this, we have implemented using Replexica, Hookdeck, and Resend to have the email. So in this case, we can see how the user is asking the bot to receive the email via this API. For this, we can see how, in this case, the interaction looks like. And there is a by message in this case. If we access our mailbox, we can see how the corpus we have received. In this case, we can see how the template from Replexica looks like, and then the whole information we're receiving from the conversation.
Okay, now I'm going to speak a bit about the architecture that we use behind. These are the one that we're using really. So let's start from the beginning, right? So there is a user that is going to input both even a text or a voice. If it's a voice, obviously it's going to be then translate a speech to text. Then you have a RAG agent. So it's a Mistral agent that is going to decide, do I need to retrieve information from the Ayuntamiento de Barcelona, or he's asking me for an overview of the email? If he decides to go from the retriever side, well, let's speak a bit about the data engineering pipeline. Obviously, it's going to then do a similarity with a cosine similarity relation to get the vectors that are related. But this is thanks to this data engineering pipeline, right? Which is good is that we're only asking a main web page. The crawler is doing everything behind. So you just get, okay, this is the main web page. It's going to get all the children, and from the children, then it's going to do all the splitting using the markdown kind of a strategy. We're doing both the sparse and the dense vector just to have an average search, but it's going to lead to better results. And then from the email overview agent, imagine that you already have a conversation. You say, okay, this is what I wanted. Let me consolidate it in an email. You just ask and give the email back to the agent, and the agent say, okay, now I need to go and do an overview. And it's using all this process behind. Actually, it starts in Replexica. And it's using a multi-language template, depending on the language of the user, is then going to aggregate and the information and augment it just for the email. From that point, then using Hookdeck, we're going to trigger a pipeline that is then going to resend and send the email back to Gmail. So that's the process.
Yeah. So to summarize, please move it forward. This has many use cases and many benefits, both for the users and for the administration. In the case of the users, you have a very, very improved user experience, and you get a very increased accessibility to information and to reliable information. And also for the administrators, it helps reduce the workload for people in support services for any of these migration-related areas. And also it's transversal to any other kind of public service. So thank you.
Okay, I have a lot of questions. But the first question is, can the system get me an appointment for Nia?
You're talking about a new tool in the agent, so that's coming.
Cool. Now for the serious question. So this is great presentation. It's the first team to use actually a CAN demo. Saves a lot of time. You guys prepared, so great work on that. Why will I use this if I can just go to Perplexity and say that, hey, just use this website and give me the answer?
Well, you can use it for, this is, as I said, it has a lot of scalability because you can use it. As you know, every Spanish government agency has the same problem. So this is just like a tiny fraction of the migration services of the Ayuntamiento of Barcelona, but you can just use this widespread all around the country, and it also can be used for any companies as well.
And that's where the hybrid search, it will help us to scale, because when you start to have more and more information from different places, different ayuntamientos in the country, having that way of also searching from keywords is going to be key to don't lose in the context.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for a good presentation. And someone that has dealt with Nia is the simplest thing. out of all the things here. I just want to add, I got 2 kids, so like, you can imagine they're born here and one is born in Sweden. It's just a big mess. So actually, this is good. How are you planning on getting this in front of the migrants?
So, I mean, I'm in the infrastructure service, in the infrastructure sector, actually. So, I mean, we have built through our company many connections with many government agencies. So I think that it's actually quite possible to get it.
Especially with one of the widgets, because the interface we have used, which is Chainlit in this case, this library allows you to embed a chat pop-up, basically, so you can embed it in the website for the
collaboration that you can do with government, and that could lead to better, utilization.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. You can say marketing too. That's a perfectly fine answer, and just say, hey, we're going to do viral stuff on TikTok, but that's also okay. Thank you.
Oh, one more question. Yeah, I think this is a really, really great use case. I think it reminds me a lot of, self-service and customer service, which is such a big topic right now for any person who is working in AI customer experience. And so I could totally see this being something that is used also for different use cases. And I guess in terms of if you would be moving forward with this, of course, the best way to go is talking to the Ayuntamiento. If you would get a stamp of approval in any kind of shape or form, that would make you vet it and make you an actually trustworthy partner. Of course, you would do this in Catalan, which they would love. I think in terms of the, kind of like customer self-service aspect, how portable do you think this solution is to be packaged and reused for a different solution?
No, I think it's really easily packaged up to some degree, especially for the private sector, because as Andres said, you can just have an interface where you input one URL and that's it. The app does everything for you. In the case of government agencies, of course, it will have to go through a different process, but we're only working with public data, so this is on their website, so we're not working with any private information or anything that has to be protected. So I don't think it would be an issue. The only issue would be the people that are going to lose their jobs because of this.
Yeah, and I think that in the portable wise, I don't know if in the other angle that I can see it is that we are only asking for a main web page, and the whole other thing of the architecture will be pretty much modular, so it will be really similar for other solutions. And then obviously, if you add more things into the software, you can have some pipelines or triggers and orchestration in a cloud service, for example.
And right now, if let's say I'm the Ayuntamiento, am I able to edit any of the content that is shown? So, for example, like remove web pages, etc.
Yeah, no, but I think. Yeah, sorry.
I guess we all need help with administration. That's what I understand. All right, thanks. Now we're going to DermaTech, and I think next is Kidventure, and we will have 2 more projects after this. So we're almost there. Run over. All right.
Hi, everyone. We are Jessica and Rebecca. We're going to present DermaTech project. It's a web app is a web app that customizes skincare routine with a chatbot connect with OpenAI.
Okay, perfect. My English is so bad. I need to explain this part in Spanish because 3 minutes for me is more difficult, and I'm so sorry, but esta idea nace de la necesidad real de personas, como todos nosotros, que muchas veces compramos productos necesitados para nuestra piel, ya sea por una rutina, un skincare para belleza o para algo real de un problema, dermatitis, acné, algo relacionado con cualquier problema de la piel. Y hemos creado esto para ayudar a las personas a, con un simple clic, poder entrar en un chatbot que te lleva a la API de OpenAI, tú escribir un mensaje diciendo lo que tienes en casa, el producto ya sea, por ejemplo, en casa tengo arbutina, tengo picnogenol, vitamina C y ácido hialurónico. Incluso puedes decir mi piel es grasa o no, porque luego tenemos una parte que te dice qué piel tiene.
Do you want me to translate in English so that, because I don't know the level, it's fine? Okay,
It's fine? Ok, perfect. Thank you. Y entonces nuestro chatbot personalizado pues te crea esa rutina skincare perfecta para ti, adaptada en un segundo, e incluso podrías preguntarle más cosas si quisieras. Y en principio esto es una base de lo que podría ser esto, que podría ser bastante útil para muchas personas. Entonces tenemos aquí la parte de pues elegir si tienes manchas, que podrías pues un poco interactuar más con el chatbot más personalizado aún, pero simplemente con esta parte ya te está funcionando y es algo intuitivo, una interfaz que cualquier persona puede entender sin necesidad de llevarlo a ChatGPT, que mucha gente es como, uy, ¿eso qué es, no? Entonces esto es para todos los usuarios y bueno, pienso que podría ser útil para muchas personas y bueno, si quieres añadir algo más.
No, básicamente que nosotras somos estudiantes, nos dejaron, teníamos un backend que nos dejó abandonadas ayer, entonces lo hemos hecho con las habilidades pocas que tenemos.
Sí, una pregunta. La parte de recomendar, porque se escucha mucho el tema de como skincare por TikTok y la gente como muy, tipo, bueno, que pueden ser malos consejos o esto no funciona para todo el mundo igual, etc. Mi duda es un poco la recomendación si viene basada en algo como también más científico, dermatológicamente, no tengo ni idea de este tema, pero dermatológicamente probado o es genérico y por tanto también puede llevar a
La información la saca pues, de OpenAI y sí que hemos hecho un prompt específico con ejemplos de
tipos de piel.
Sí, tipos de piel, de que se base en eso y la respuesta que nosotros queremos que dé. Claro, más allá de lo que pueda el resultado, las pruebas que hemos hecho son bastante correctas, es bastante, incluso te dice que te protejas del sol, que todo esto que es bastante importante. También estaría bien tener una sección, que bueno, era nuestra idea, pero no nos ha dado tiempo, una sección de consejos para el sol, que es muy importante, protegerse.
Recomendaciones básicas por cada tipo de piel.
Y esto podría extenderse mucho más con un poco más de tiempo y más conocimientos sobre esto. Es una base de lo que podría ser.
Sí, creo que más dudas.
Me gusta la idea y es un problema popular y una sugestión, ¿es posible para anotar los productos que tienes en lugar de los ingredientes? Ah, ok, bueno.
¿Qué producto tienes en casa y qué tipo de piel tienes? Entonces, lo que pasa es que yo lo tengo aquí ya, pero aquí le pones como qué tipo de piel tienes, si tienes acné, y aquí en casa tengo, y le pones como todos los productos que tienes en casa para que con los productos que ya tienes te cree.
Más bien ella preguntaba si puedes poner productos
con
nombres
sí.
Que puedes comprar, por ejemplo.
Sí.
Okay. No los ingredientes en sí.
The ordinary, sí.
Sí, claro.
Sí. Creo que sí. No llegamos.
No, sí, en principio sí. Realmente esto, esos son productos reales, picnogenol, arbutina. Tú puedes comprar directamente en la tienda. Quiero arbutina y te lo dan. La marca que quieras, ya sea de Ordinary, que está muy de moda, o la que tú quieras, pero el producto sería ese. Pero puedes decir, tengo una crema hidratante de noche. Bueno, te va a decir que es por la noche, obvio, ¿no? Pero, por ejemplo, cualquier otro producto que tengas en casa que no sabes realmente, me lo pongo por la mañana, me lo pongo por la tarde, por la noche. Si utilizo un producto de tratamiento, ¿puede ir primero ese producto y luego va a ir después el de tratamiento? O si me pongo una crema hidratante, ¿después va la del sol? Porque si yo pregunto aquí si primero va la del sol o luego va la hidratante, no sé si muchos sabrían cuál va primero. Si va primero la hidratante o la del sol. Pues aquí tenemos DermaTech que te lo dice.
No tengo una pregunta, pero simplemente quería felicitaros que habéis hecho esto, porque ayer vi que había otra persona y hoy no está. Entonces,
Sí,
felicidades que
sí,
habéis
sí.
acabado y ya está. Gracias.
All right. Cool. That was our first hackathon as well. So that's pretty cool. All right. Next we have Kidventure, and then after SimplifAI, I think that's the name. So you guys? Okay, cool. Yep. Yes.
Okay, so hi, good evening. Yeah? Okay, so I'm Michael, yeah, this is Daniel, this is Francesc, and the problem we wanted to solve was, it's called Matteo, yeah, my four-year-old child, and so he always has to be entertained, and it's nice to read a story, or read a book with him, but yeah, somebody has to wash the dishes as well. So we decided to make a helper for parents. And yeah, it's called Kidventure. And the idea is to have like an interactive story, like to call an LLM to tell a story, but let the child participate and let him make decisions. And so I let Francesc make the demonstration. He's actually 4 years old. And so yeah, in the beginning we started off with Hugging Face, directly using like Streamlit on Hugging Face, and we had something like working in 20 minutes. But it was with GPT-2, and like it was working quick but not very well. And so we decided to go to use the tech stack we already knew, and I go and let Francesc explain it.
So basically, we get the story. Now it's in Spanish. You can change the language. The thing is, when you have this short story, you can always like continue the story. So you can say what you would be interested to follow up, or how would you, maybe you want to follow the dragon, or you want to follow some character that it's featured in the story, and so you can keep going on and on and in the same story. It's like kind of an infinite scroll, but with the story. Okay.
Like some features we were about to add were like getting like create pictures. We made the picture with Stability UI, but we didn't manage to get it into the user interface. Yeah, it's a nice one. But yeah, it was a thing with sending it from backend to front end. And another thing which we realized, like during the process on researching, is that could you open bedtime stories AI, please? That one of the jurors did this already in 2022, I think. Yeah. Okay, bedtime story AI. So. Which language model did you use? Mm-hmm. Well. We're using like a whole range of things, but it's not. I don't want to actually running it here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, just Just an observation, actually. I found that I hadn't seen before, but I'm not a designer or anything. I like the part of the UI, like, okay, it's done here, but you click and the text appears. Like, I think that was quite well thought and original even. I hadn't seen it before, so congrats on that too.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's go for the last. So, Kidventure now, SimplifAI, and the last one, MeetingMind. Yes, you guys. And so we have, that's the two last projects.
Est-ce que j'essaie de me mettre en HDMI là pour le DisplayPort?
Ça, je pense qu'il n'y a pas de sortie.
Ok, bah du coup
on va essayer.
Ouais. On met juste.
Ok, puis
je mets le son après.
Si c'est ça, ouais.
Test.
Ah, ok.
So, hello everyone, and thank you for listening to the pitch. Today I will present to you SimplifAI, with which you will be able to effortlessly browse the web really simply. So first of all, before going in the presentation, I would like to put a bit in perspective what we are doing. So first of all, let's imagine a situation. We are in 2070. Currently, there is a new web search engine that has been released. You want to test it. It's promised to be faster, simpler, and to offer new possibilities of interaction with the information. You test it, but the interface is really complex. And you struggle a lot discovering new stuff and getting the information that you want. Oh. Yeah, sorry. So you're getting a bit annoyed and you're starting to giving up, realizing that the gap between your generation and the new generation is starting to widening. So you may think that this is unreal, but this situation is currently happening to more than 50 million persons over 65 years old, currently in Europe. Almost half of them cannot successfully use the internet research finds. So that's why we create a solution to help them having more accessibility over internet. So let me present you SimplifAI, where a simple hello can start a new journey.
And you will be able to proceed by saying, hello, Simplify. Hello, Simplify. Can you give me a link of chocolate cake recipe research on YouTube?
Hello. Sure, here is a link to search for chocolate cake recipes on YouTube. YouTube chocolate cake recipe search. Enjoy baking.
Okay, I'm done with the chocolate cake recipes. Can you give me some links about Napoleon Bonaparte history? I would like to get to know more about him.
Sure, I see you finished with the chocolate cake recipes. Here are some links where you can learn more about Napoleon Bonaparte's history.
Can you tell me a bit more about the content of the page I'm currently in? I would like to get to know more without really diving inside the website myself.
Certainly. The page you are currently on provides a detailed biography of Napoleon Bonaparte, covering his life, military career, rise to power, marriages, children, reign, downfall, and death. It discusses his military conquests, strategic decisions, exile, and ultimate demise. The article also delves into key events.
Thank you so much, but I'm done with it. Can you give me some recommendation of website where I can listen to music?
I see you're done reading about Napoleon Bonaparte's biography. If you're looking for a website to listen to music, I recommend checking out some popular platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, or Pandora. These sites offer a wide range of music genres and personalized playlists to enjoy. Happy listening.
Yeah,
I like how this is essentially helping like elderly navigate the internet. So it's like audio navigation. I wonder if, if you do the mom test, like if I put this in front of my mom or my grandma, they would actually understand what is happening, because in a lot of cases, they're still extremely easily confused. So I understand that, whenever you put just like you open up Chrome and you tell somebody like, look up this, they have absolutely no way how to begin. So I wonder how you would tackle that kind of onboarding problem, which is generally the biggest challenge when it comes to accessibility.
So sadly, it has not been finished, but we created an installer that was installing every dependencies, the extension that was opening the browser each time the person was launching the installer, the .exe. So at the end, all of the repetitive and struggling process for those person is avoided by automatizing those tasks. And yeah.
I think you more kind of on the user side here, right? Where if my grandma would use this, she would freak out and close the laptop because opening things for her would what am I going to do now? Even my mom would struggle quite a bit with this, I think. It's a really good idea, but it's really hard to demo also with 4 minutes, right? Because if the real user here would have a lot of patience.
Yeah.
So even solving something that makes their life a little bit easier, or a lot easier, but takes a little bit of time, is perfectly fine. I would try to actually do the mom test. I would try to get this in front of some real people and see if you can get it to be used by some, because even if you help a few hundred people,
we tried with our moms.
Yeah, that's great.
It was pretty well working, but they are our moms. So
yeah,
so probably not the best idea. But the main objective was to provide this for people that could have arthritis, for example, and have a lot of struggles like typing and writing.
I think it's a great thing. It's just really difficult to demo, and it's also really difficult to know. But it's really good. Well done,
Thank
guys.
You.
Yeah,
thank you.
No, super quick comment from my side too. I've read a lot. No, super fast. I've read a lot about how Gen AI and the accessibility opportunity and so on. Just congrats for exploring that. I think like just on top of what they said, like it's complicated, but at the same time super impactful. So congrats. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
panic impulsion for production, don't worry. Just for the
One question. First of all, super cool. I think that many companies like Google, Slack, and so on are going a bit in that direction, and it makes a lot of sense for like internal productivity and so on. My question is, with my experience, like trying out this type of things, it works okay for like English with perfect US accent, but not so much for like Spanish, Catalan, or even like a Catalan speaking English. So I wonder, did you try out other languages, or even you are Catalan, I think, like, did it work? Because
we have a test where he was speaking in English, he was speaking in Spanish, I was speaking Catalan, and since we are recording the voice separately, the first step was translating everything to English, and then we're asking the questions in English, so we can translate
Thank you for a good presentation. And as someone that uses AI meeting assistants daily and have been for a year or more, TLDV, Firefly, Zoom AI, whatever, all of them basically. What's interesting here is you built this in 30 hours, right? And they're already quite competitive. And if you spent, let's say, 2 weeks making it nice, package it, then the defensibility of these other players are quite like it's showing now that these things are going to become a commodity. So I really just want to say like good work. Like it's a lot of things coming together to make this happen in 30 hours. So yeah, good work.
All right, so this concludes the demo. The judges are going to deliberate. You get some beers, and we get back here in like what, 10 minutes? And then beers again.
HackBCN's a place we'll code and thrive. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite, AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine, training models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrador's height, we're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks HackBCN's a place we'll call and thrive. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, when minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sets in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks pausing the futures in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road. Every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every day a step, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's inside. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. Seeing where the nights come alive. HackBCN's a place we'll call and thrive. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, when minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sets in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks pausing the futures in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road. Every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every day a step, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's inside. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. Seeing where the nights come alive. HackBCN's a place we'll call and thrive. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, when minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sets in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. HackBCN's a place we'll code and fly. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks buzzing, the future's in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road, every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every day a sec, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's inside. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. Seeing where the nights come alive. HackBCN's a place we'll code and fly. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks buzzing, the future's in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road, every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every day a sec, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's inside. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. Seeing where the nights come alive. HackBCN's a place we'll code and fly. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create HackBCN's the place we'll code and thrive. We're fine-tuning in our minds in GPT. In our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, when minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks pausing the futures in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road. Every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every day a sec, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's in sight. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, where the nights come alive. HackBCN's the place we'll code and thrive. We're fine-tuning in our minds in GPT. In our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, when minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks pausing the futures in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road. Every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every day a sec, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's in sight. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, where the nights come alive. HackBCN's the place we'll code and thrive. We're fine-tuning in our minds in GPT. In our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, when minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create HackBCN's the place we'll call and fly. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks buzzing, the future's in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road, every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every data set, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's inside. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. Seeing where the nights come alive. HackBCN's the place we'll call and fly. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Neural networks buzzing, the future's in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road, every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every data set, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's inside. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. Seeing where the nights come alive. HackBCN's the place we'll call and fly. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Science, a place we'll code and thrive. We're fine-tuning in our minds and GPT. In our sights, we'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we see HackBCN, where minds combine. Trading models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrador's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night.
They say they're coming? All right, I see the judges getting out of their room. Abemus winner, I guess. And the projector is off. Take your seats. Right, how were the beers? Cold? Fresh? Well deserved. They were well deserved. And this is warming up. But again, thanks for blowing our minds. Thanks for building cool shit. Whenever we give you a topic that is that broad, seems like you're able to build stuff for good, for helping your friends, your neighbors, people that are in need. So this is crazy. You are able to build some stuff for education, for kids, for healthcare. No one built a fart app. I'm very sad. And so, I mean, there's hope. It means like tech could do good stuff. I'm sure if we had done this in another city, we'll have found different ways of using the technology. So I'm very proud of you and what you've done. So congrats you all. You achieved great stuff. So now comes the time to recognize some project for what they've done, what they achieved. And we have different things. We have prizes from sponsors, and then we have our grand winner. Should I introduce Max? I feel you know Max. But Max is the founder from Replexica.
Check. Okay. So just to remind, hi everyone, my name is Max. I'm a technical co-founder of Replexica. Once again, what we do is that we help dev team to do localization of the products very fast with AI. Yep. And just to remind what our challenge was, is that you had to build a developer tool. And to keep it simple, the definition of developer tool was, if the user is a developer or can be a developer, then it's a developer tool, right? So the winner. Before I announce the winner, I want to highlight at least three projects. First one is, actually, did you know that with Wizz Air, you can fly to an unknown destination, right? So even in the airport, you will see unknown as the destination, right? So I want to highlight the flightmate app, an app that predicts flight delays, because I would personally use it to see which flight is likely to be delayed, to buy that flight, to get the compensation, for example, right? So that could be a fun use case. So yeah, let's give them a round of applause. Number two that I want to highlight is PocketPal. It's, if you remember, it was this wonderful thing with like interactive stories where you can choose the outcome with your like volume buttons up and down. I think it's an amazing like interface to control the application. So yeah, I was absolutely impressed with that. And also AQ app, the air quality API and application front-end web app. I think it's kind of important problem, but also what I particularly liked is that it doesn't just show you the number, like the coefficient that God only knows what means, like for normal people, right? But it's like it gives you this, like it asks for the age, and it gives this understanding, like if it actually is bad or not. So yeah. So now to the winner. And the winner of Replexica Challenge is YourTravelSong.
Woo!
So just to remind you guys, YourTravelSong is an API that can suggest your travel destinations based on the songs you listen to. One of the cases that, congrats. Congratulations, guys. Exciting stuff. So two things. One of the cases was that it can be an ad potentially that Spotify shows you, right? So I would absolutely love to see those ads on my Spotify web app. Yeah, so that's one thing. And also, I particularly liked how you created something on such an unusual intersection of like use case, technology, and the architecture overall was really impressive. So congrats again.
Woo!
Do we have a photo? Photo maybe? Yeah, you're taking photos? Yeah, with the winners.
Woo!
All right, but that's not the end. Yeah, so we have a special prize, a very exclusive prize for only those who are in this room today. And yeah, I convinced my co-founder to give everyone who is here a 35% discount if you will need in the future or are currently doing localization and you want to do it faster. So just scan this QR code, make a photo, and get the discount. That's it?
Yeah, thank you.
Woo.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for supporting us. Thanks. That was actually Max who kind of gave me a kick in the butt. I was like, yeah, we should do a hackathon. We should do a hackathon. We should do a hackathon. Let's fucking do it. And we did it. So thanks for that. Our next sponsor prize is Hookdeck. And we have Andre here representing them. All right.
Hey everyone. First of all, kudos to all of you. Amazing job. I was walking around for these 2 days and asking how you were doing. And I was really, really impressed with the quality and the ideas you had. I'm super stressed now. Lego. It's great responsibility. But yes, I had to figure out who would get this amazing Lego. But I had a constraint. I could give it only to teams which were building something with the usage of Hookdeck. So I have a winner, but I also wanted to congratulate the other 2 teams who used it. One was the one before, so the team building the travel app. And the other one was the accessibility team. It was a very good job. That was a very good idea, and I think it's useful. But the winner is Hermes. You're there. Yeah, you want to say something?
Thank you, Hookdeck. All right, time for the grand prize. And this is where I'm calling our judges on stage. You pass the mic, you know what you set up. I forgot who goes first.
Okay, so does it work? Yeah. It was really tough. I'm speaking for all of us. Everybody had different top winners, which means in part that all the projects were super great. I will start with 2 honorable mentions. Spoiler alert, there is no prize, but at least you take home this mention. One thing that I forgot to mention before is that I'm also I participate in Data for Good Barcelona, which is a local organization here in Barcelona that tries to generate awareness in all the data for good topics and also tries to help NGOs in a better or more mature use of their data. And because of that, I was like super happy to see that so many of the initiatives today had into account accessibility, social impact, and many other for good topics. And I opened the door for those teams to reach out in case you want to, at some point, do a collaboration with Data for Good Barcelona, or you can use us to maybe prepare a post to advertise a bit your projects. I don't know, like we are open a bit to discuss that. The 2 honorable mentions go first to Mulet's team. we were all really inspired by your story. The fact that you were here with the whole family. I don't know, like it was definitely inspiring. And also like you didn't stop there, like also the product that you built was really robust. It included RAG to ensure that the responses were like founded. And it had also social impact, right? So it was like quite a rounded team. Congrats on that. And we hope to see you working in tech probably really soon. We'll see about that. And the other honorable mention is LevelAccess. We also saw like how a very different type of project could work towards helping accessibility. You demonstrated like true empathy towards the type of users or people that would be behind a use case like that one. And we were also really impressed about how you use the technology and how you wanted to make the world more accessible or easier for those people. So congrats on that.
Hey guys, yeah, I mean, everybody did an amazing job. And so actually on top of the current prizes, I will add another prize. So I run an AI photography app. We do AI headshots. We work with Walmart, McKinsey, YC founders. And so for every person who gets first, second, or third, or an honorable mention, you can also get an AI headshot. And so just send me a message on LinkedIn. Tanya Van Gestel is my full name. You can find it on the website. It's easier as well. Just send me a message, say what your company or like where your project was, and I'll sign you up. So the third place winner is EloquentAI.
They're coming, I think, to take a picture.
Great job, guys. Very good. Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Can we take a picture with them?
Take a photo.
Come on. So for the second prize as well, which is a photo with all of us here. No, first of all, like everybody else, I think the level of participation was amazing. Like the ideas were very diverse, and we had a hard time deciding. There were like really good ideas, really great execution as well, but unfortunately, we had a big few. The second one, for us, I think unanimously, we felt that they used really latest and greatest of what's available there when it comes to AI. So their use of Fume, mixing emotions, and also going multimodal. I think we all believe that the second prize should go to PitchAI. So great work, guys.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. The prize. You can give it. I don't. All right. We did deliberate quite a bit, but we are in full agreement, I guess, over this decision. So for solving a real problem, all of you solve great problems, but this is actually solving a real problem that you don't have to really explain. It's something that can go and be deployed straight away. So it has really high quality from a finished perspective. Leverages AI in a very great way. Solving problems really is what we're trying to achieve with these hackathons, right? So I think we just announce it, no? Like,
Go for it.
The winner is Candit AI. Yeah. Get up. Grand prize. There you go. Well done. I mean, there's obviously a lot. Yeah, come in the middle. Go. Middle. Thank you very much. Nico. Thank you. Can I say thank you? Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming, and I think we all owe Nico a big applause for organizing this as well, and every volunteer and everyone that's been here. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks all for being here. Thanks for our judges. Again, congrats. If you want to continue the conversation, go check those communities. They're awesome. They're supporting us. They share the event with their teams and the community. Shout out to our volunteers. You met Rebecca, you met Claudia, and the cutest is Chouquette, right? Oh, and you had Kate as well in the checking on. So Rebecca, Claudia, Kate yesterday was checking you in, and Chouquette, follow her on Instagram. We need some brand deals. See you next time.
Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more. Your network's pausing, the future's in our code. From Montjuic to the Gothic Road, every line of code, a step to what's ahead in the heart of Barcelona. Our passion's there. HackBCN, let's break new ground. With every day a sec, we'll turn it around. Barcelona's calling, the future's in sight. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, let's rock this night. HackBCN, where the nights come alive. HackBCN's a place we'll code and thrive. With fine-tuning in our minds and GPT in our sights. We'll hack through the darkness, shining bright lights. HackBCN, where dreams ignite. AI visions in the Catalan night. Tokens flow as we pave the way. In Barcelona, we seize the day. HackBCN, when minds combine. Training models, making them fly. From Laurent Blanc to the Sagrada's height. We're pushing the limits, coding all night. Data sits in hand, we'll create and explore. In the streets of the city, we'll always want more.